Grand Rising, beautiful souls. Welcome to Physical Friday. Today's topic is all about our digestion and our health. Our vibrant health starts in our gut. And I'm sure most of you already know this. You probably heard it a gazillion million times. You know, the supplement industry is like $1 billion industry, right? Or maybe even bigger than that. And everywhere you go, it's all about digestion, and more people are having issues with digestion, and it's really interesting. So I'm going to speak to you mainly from my own experience, even though I am a certified personal trainer and health coach. I'm not a nutritionist, but I've been in this whole industry for 25 years. And, honestly, having a certification as a health coach or a personal trainer really doesn't mean much. What means the most is someone who has actually walked their talk and has experienced being able to transform their life, transform their body, transform their health, experience both, the positive and also the negative about, just like health as far as supplementation, pharmaceutical drugs. So I'm going to give you my overall perspective and opinion as far as what I've learned for my own self. And then you could take that and apply it to your life if you want. Maybe some of it you might resonate with, maybe some of it you won't agree with, but this is just my own life experience. And so from a really early age, I had to get on supplements. And that's because I found out when I was about 21 that I had thalassemia minor, which is a genetic blood disorder, which causes you to have low iron and a low red blood cell counts. And also my red blood cells are shaped differently. So I don't get as much oxygen, right? And having low iron obviously makes you more fatigued. So for the longest time, before they found that out, doctors were just prescribing me iron supplements because I had low iron. But they weren't helping. They weren't doing anything. They're just making it worse, actually. And it was wasting money and making me constipated. And, and it wasn't until this doctor in Florida found out that he asked me, it's like, "Are you Italian by any chance?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm part Italian." And he said, "I think you might have this Mediterranean blood disorder." And he tested me, and I did. So that was a little aha moment and learning experience at a very young age. And then when I was in my late 20s, I started to pursue all natural bodybuilding. And then I started competing and doing shows, bodybuilding shows and fitness competitions. And for that, I had to be on supplements. And I understand, that. See, I agree in taking supplements for a specific goal or a specific purpose. And, I needed to take them and then stop after I was done with my shows. Although some of it I kind of continued on because I thought I just needed them. And so this is the other thing. When you are not sure, when you're not educated, number one, and when you're not in tune with your body, number two, and you go to someone who you trust and respect and they say, "Oh, you need to take the supplement." Of course, if you're health conscious and you want to take good care of yourself, you have a tendency to take it, right? And that's what I did for many, many years when this doctor that I really respected, he was my doctor at the time, told me I needed to take probiotics. So I took them every day for 10 years. And then one day I don't know if it was through meditation or just a download, my higher self was like, "You don't really need to keep taking these probiotics." And I thought what made more sense to me is that if you're constantly taking a supplement, then it doesn't give your body the chance to do its own thing. And so your body was designed to be healthy, to regulate itself, to purify and to digest its food on its own, to detoxify on its own. That's why we have these organs like our skin and our lungs and our kidneys and our liver and all of these organs we have. Our body's natural innate wisdom and intelligence is to do it without us having to say boo to it. It just does it. But what happens is because we're bombarded with toxins and pollutants, which is in our soil, in our food, in our air, in our water. I mean, everywhere we go, right? And if you're not eating healthy and organic, which like who can afford to eat organic everything, right? You can't help but our body just kind of gets backed up, and jammed up with all of these toxins, so it can't do its natural thing that it wants to do. And that's when we need to give it a little extra help and a little TLC with supplementation. Sometimes we need pharmaceutical drugs, I mean, it depends on what you're going through and the severity of the imbalance, right? So I'm not against pharmaceutical drugs and I'm not against supplements, but I'm just giving you my overall perspective and opinion of what I think from like a higher perspective is that there are times in your life when you need to take a drug. I remember last year I had the most, I mean, there's a couple of times when like I needed to go on antibiotics, which I'm not a big antibiotic fan, but I had this debilitating rash, which it was a detoxification that I was going through. But at the same time, I also found out from getting a skin culture from the doctor that I had multiple strains of staph infection. So I had to go on an antibiotic. And that's not something I'm going to mess with. And I was, oh, you know what? Well, let me just take these plant-based herbs and supplements to see if it'll go away. It's like, no, I have staph. Like, that's serious. I'm going to get on the antibiotic. I had to actually do 2 different rounds of antibiotics. That's how bad it was. And then after that was done and it was gone, then I did some probiotics to just rebuild my flora. So that's one time in my life. That was 2 years ago. And then last year I had really, really bad gum and tooth infection. It was so painful, if you've ever had that, like it's debilitating when you're just like in so much pain in your mouth. And I still had to go to work. So I had prescribed from the doctor from my car accident for my neck, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. And I never, I took it when I was in pain, but like I took it for my gum and mouth and my pain went away. Like completely. I was like, wow, this is a miracle. Like I was so grateful for that ibuprofen. Did I stay on it forever? No. I took it for my gum and mouth infection until I can see the dentist and get it treated. So what I'm saying is there are times in your life where, you have to take them and there's nothing wrong with taking. I know being extreme either way, I think is not healthy. And I know some people that just like refuse to take refuse to take a pharmaceutical drug. It's like, but what? But you're suffering, like there's no need to suffer when you could just take this, feel better, and then, deal with what's the underlying cause of whatever's happening, But I find that, some people are very extreme in their thinking. And I think being extreme, this is something that I've also learned because of my astrology, and my sun is Pisces. I'm also Gemini rising, and if you ever looked at my chart, I'm a seesaw, so everything is like opposite, extreme one side to the other. And I had to learn how to just find the middle path, and the path of least resistance, the path of ease. It's like, why are you struggling and suffering when you could just take this freaking antibiotic or take this drug? It's not going to kill you. And then you can deal with the underlying cause and do it in a more holistic way. So that's my little spin and take on supplementation. And so, yeah, I've been doing, because I felt like I've been really bloated and I needed to do like a kickstart in my cleansing. And so I'm going for colonics now. I did my first one yesterday and it was really uncomfortable, but a lot of parasites and worms were coming out. And I know that's because since I've moved to Hawaii 5 years ago, I love poke and sushi. It's like my favorite food. And yeah, so there's a tendency to get parasites from that. And also, I mean, you could get them anywhere. You could just get them from like clean fruits and vegetables. They're just everywhere. And I just felt like, my body was talking to me. I was very bloated and my body was like, it's time. So I'm going for a series of colonics, and, they're not for everybody, but I think that if you can do them and if you go to somebody who knows what they're doing, that along with cleansing. So it's not like that's the answer. I'm going to do a colonic and then I'm just going to do the same thing that I've always done and go back to, eating these foods. Or no, you have to like shift in your whole, diet. And I feel like I needed this jump start. So for me, the colonic is a jump start. And then I'm going to do a parasite cleanse. And then I'm going to eat less poke and sashimi. And then if I do decide I want to eat it, I'm going to just make sure it's, good from like a good place, reputable place. And then there's also supplements that you could take after you eat it which would help. I mean, I don't know if that would cure if there are parasites or worms in the raw fish, but it can't hurt. So yeah, I did a lot of research on what to do to counteract the sushi parasite problem. But I'm going to be realistic. I'm not going to say to myself, well, I'm never going to eat that again, because that's not realistic. Because maybe in a few months from now, I'm going to really want it. So that's what I mean. Like, as far as being extreme, like, yeah, the person who's doing my colonic, who is this amazing, lovely, and intelligent, highly educated woman, she might say, well, maybe you want to stay away from sashimi and sushi, and maybe that's what she does. But for me, no, I enjoy it. So I'm going to eat it. And I believe once my body gets back to its normal, healthy state, that if I do have sushi from here and there, that my body will be able to cleanse and take care of anything on its own in my gut. So that's my message for today as far as your digestion. And I also wanted to end with, to start to pay attention and tune into your body, because I know from my own experience, when we're not sure, when we don't have that connection to our body, or we're not spending time dropping in and listening and asking, I literally ask my body, okay, what do you need? How can I help you? What can I do that will help me or us to feel better, to have better health? And I listen. And you'll always get the answer. Communication with your body is a two-way street. So it's something that I teach with my clients, that, and they're not really aware that you can talk to your body actually, and your body listens to every single thought that you have, and that you can actually program your body, and that will be for another video. And B, the other way of communication is that your body is talking to you all the time. You just have to listen and pay attention to your body's innate wisdom. So start to do that, and then trust yourself, because even the best doctors with the best intention And even the best healthcare practitioners with the best intentions can give you their own opinion and perspective, but it's from their own life experience, and our bodies are each unique and different, and we have our own life experience, and our bodies are like a roadmap of our life. And so we need to really take in what they're saying and then bring it to your innate wisdom and listen to yourself and say, all right, does that feel right with me? This is something that I had to learn to do because I tend to trust people. And someone says, okay, yeah, this is the probiotic, and I take this every day. Okay, I'm going to go online and order it, blah, blah. But it's like, no, my body's saying I'm at a point in my evolution where I don't necessarily need to take probiotics anymore. Maybe from time to time, or maybe if I'm traveling, right? And I'm traveling to different countries and I might need that extra support, then probiotics will come in handy. But if I'm taking it on a daily basis, I'm not going to give my body its own natural inner strength to do what it's designed to do. So that's my message to you. Tune into your own beautiful temple. It is beautiful, and spend time just giving thanks to your body. I think that's really important too. Like before I went for my colonic, I just meditated in the morning and I just did some energy work over my lower dantian, and I just thanked my body and I thanked my digestive system and for being so amazing and doing its job so brilliantly and being so strong and resilient, because there's so much toxins and pollutants in the world, and our body has to do so much work to detoxify. So if we can continue to just aid our body in the detoxification process, then the body will just work so brilliantly and amazingly and do what it's designed to do. I hope that was helpful. Any comments or feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Aloha, and we'll talk soon. Namaste. The soul fire in me, I give to you. Aho. To learn more about my offerings, visit my website at igniteyoursoulfire.com. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below, my soul family. Thank you for being here on our precious planet Gaia at this time. Your light matters. You matter. You make a difference in the world by just being you. Ahuiho. Until our hearts meet again. You are loved.